Our last piece of evidence comes from the magazine People.com, which we believe was the main medium of important news for the 21st century citizen. We performed well-established computer vision techniques on this cover and discovered something very interesting. First, we used super resolution on the eye to zoom in on the eye. Then, we were able to reconstruct the scene visible in the reflection of the iris. This reflection shows a number of paparazzi crowded around a celebrity whose face is partially occluded. That by a hat. Using face recognition, we were able to calculate the most likely face of this person. And as you can see, this person is none other than David Friedman. It is well known that Professor Friedman became interested in cosmetics. And we believe that this evidence suggests that Professor Friedman became a top Hollywood makeup artist, gaining wild fame. With the faculty basking in their celebrity status, the grad students of UCSD CSE were left alone. With little research direction to guide them, they found inspiration in futuristic book covers and robotic teddy bears of their childhood. This led to the construction of a seemingly innocent robo-bear. Unfortunately, the bear became self-aware in the year 2012. Which led to the inevitable war between man and machine, resulting in the destruction of California.
Now I'll take questions from the audience. Does anybody have any questions for the presenters?
Where did you guys get those letters?
They want to know about those sweet plans.
It's the uniform from our research institute, the JSOR.
I have a question. Is there any possibility that those images were edited using photo manipulation software?
They didn't have that type of technology.
That's not the game, shorty. Next presentation, we'll talk about the nuclear destruction. Theory number 3.
Thank you. I'm here today to tell you the true story of this horrible catastrophe. My colleagues would have you believe that the total destruction of Southern California was caused by haikus or rowdy professors run amok, but this line of research is questionable at best. My team has been able to isolate the real source of the problem, and can all be traced back to one man, Christopher Knish. During the fall of 2009, this plucky young researcher underwent a transformation that would dramatically alter the lives of everyone in San Diego forever. The details are still a bit sketchy, but the one thing that we can be certain of is that Chris was involved in a freak accident that imbued him with superhuman powers. Our basis for this conclusion is this ancient photograph in which Chris is clearly ripping a hole in space with his finger.
Question?
Yeah.
What kind of freak accident are we talking about here?
Well, we believe it was a combination of radiation exposure and swine flu. We conducted experiments to try and recreate the incident, but we always just ended up with glow-in-the-dark bacon. Surprisingly, very little additional information can be found about this young man and his incredible gift. However, based on the historical documents and modern data mining techniques such as multimodal data spelunking and honey nut clustering, we've been able to piece together the rest of this fantastic story. This magazine cover not only gives us a glimpse of Chris's powers at work, but it also tells us the alias he came to use in days to come, the Pulse. With his new abilities, Chris left computer science to become a full-time superhero and the Pulse became San Diego's latest crime-fighting vigilante. Yes?
So what superpowers did he have?
That's a very good question. The Pulse could open a keyhole-sized portal between any two places in the universe.
Neat, but how did he use it to fight crime?
Oh, it's simple. He would create one portal right next to his ear, and then another portal nearby anyone he suspected was about to commit a crime, and then he'd just listen on their plans.
But how did he actually stop them?
Well, he would heroically send Batman a text message and tell him what it was. If I may continue. Here's an artist's rendering of what we believe the Pulse may have looked like. It's worth mentioning at this point that the Pulse does not appear to be the first costume do-gooder to grace San Diego, but he was by far the most successful. Apparently San Diego was full of would-be superheroes back in those days, and our research has uncovered evidence of several others even within the computer science department. Some notable examples include the Ben Annihilator, who was always ready to dole out a tangy fruit punch. The Molest Terrorist, making evildoers uncomfortable with his creepy stares and unsolicited back rubs. And last but not least, Roy. That doesn't matter to him. The Pulse quickly became the toast of the town, and crime rates dropped dramatically. Under his watchful eye, San Diego became a haven for law-abiding citizens, and things were going quite well for the Pulse, but there was one thing he didn't count on. His former lab partner. Kirill Levchenko had been Chris's friend and colleague in the days before the accident. They had worked together amicably for many years and were close to making a breakthrough in the field of spam-bot network prevention. But after Chris's transformation, he didn't have time for Kirill anymore. When he wasn't out saving lives, the Pulse was living it up as California's most famous professor. He was always on the list at every club and party. Meanwhile, Kirill was... Kirill was left out of the spotlight and remained in the dark, gloomy isolation of his research lab. He soon became mad with jealousy. After Chris left UCSD, things got even worse. The funding for Kirill's project was canceled on the grounds that he wasn't super enough. Without the money he needed to complete his research, Kirill turned to the dark side and joined the same spammers he had sworn to defeat. When word of his betrayal reached Chris, the Pulse infiltrated the spam network and put Kirill behind bars. Consumed by rage, Kirill vowed revenge on his former partner. After a daring escape from prison, Kirill teamed up with Alden the Slasher King and his gang to get rid of the Pulse once and for all. Through his mob ties, he was able to get his hands on a large nuclear device, which he could control from his secret underground lair.